everyone, and welcome back to Chicane, where we, your hosts, Brinley,
and McKenna.
put the chic in motorsports.
This episode uniquely intertwines the two as we interview Sherry from the Grandstand Project.
Tune in to learn more about her brand, and all things motorsports chic.
And with that, let's get revving.
Woo!
I'm so excited. I'm revving.
Revving.
We're so excited that you're with us. How are you doing?
Hi, my name is Sherry. I am the CEO and founder of the Grandstand Project, a new clothing brand for all women into cars and racing and motorsports. And 3% of all of our sales go directly to support women in motorsports. I'm doing good. Honestly, just excited to be here.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, let's get into P1s and DNFs, shall we? McKenna, what's your P1 for this week? Or P1s?
My P1 is, okay, we have had some really gloomy weather, but it's also like getting chilly a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like not at all in the fall spirit, not at all as like Thanksgiving, Christmas, but now it's a little bit chilly and I'm like, okay, finally I can enjoy like a cup of hot tea or something and like read a book and feel like it's winter time.
Yeah.
And then for a DNF, Azariah has been teething really bad. She has like 2 molars coming in right now. And so it's just so sad when she's like in pain and there's not much you can do. But she's doing a lot better today. So that's
good. What about you, Sherry?
Let me think. My P1 is I finally cleaned my apartment. Like all of last week, I was kind of just, it was so hectic and I was out of town. But then last night, I finally was like, okay, it's time to pull myself together, do my laundry, clean my floors. So I finally feel clean again. My DNF is I woke up this morning and my cat puked on my bed. I know. I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? I think it's because she like gobbles up her kibble too fast. Like she's one of those cats where like as soon as her feeder goes off, she like bolts and she like swallows everything in one go. So this morning I woke up and she was like yakking and I was like, oh my god, my baby. But so I had to rewash the sheets that I washed last night, but it's fine.
Wow, that's rough. Yeah, my DNF, I'd probably say just like homework right now. I have like so many assignments due today, then I'm gonna have to finish them after we record. And then P1, I actually have like made some friends on campus and like I'm doing some stuff with new friends this weekend, so that's pretty fun. I'm excited to do that.
Yay. That's exciting.
All right, do you want to start with the questions, McKenna?
Yeah, so tell us just a little bit more about how you kind of got into motorsport. What are your favorite racing categories to watch? Who are some of your favorite drivers and teams? Just a little bit, kind of the rundown.
Yeah. Well, I grew up with my mom being really into cars, and she got it from my grandpa who was really into racing. But I remember, like, as a kid, I was adamantly, like, anti-cars. I was like, I don't know why, what got into me, but I was like, this is a boy thing. So it wasn't really my vibe. It wasn't until college when I kind of, like, was on my own, and I think I was just missing home. So then I started watching F1 races every Sunday, and it just came back, and I started getting more into it, and I started caring a lot more. Specifically, I am a huge Formula One fan. I know a little bit about Indy and NASCAR, but mainly my knowledge is in Formula One. And my favorite team is a bit of a hot take, but I'm a huge Williams fan.
Oh, okay.
We love Williams here, so
Yeah, we do love Williams.
You're welcome to this. Yeah.
I love Williams. I don't know what it is about them. They just bring me so much joy. When Logan left, I actually cried. I was just so upset. I was like, not my Floridian king, no.
I did too. You're not alone in that. Are you excited for like Carlos joining? Or is that like no?
I am so excited.
Okay.
No, I'm so excited. I think Carlos could help bring Williams back mainstream.
Okay, word. Okay, you recently just launched your clothing brand, the Grandstand Project. What was the inspiration behind creating the brand? How long have you been working on bringing this dream to life?
Yeah. Well, as soon as for me, gender and racing in cars was always a really big topic, just
Mm,
because I always felt a little out of place when being interested in sports in general. And I think there's some like trauma there that I just never fully delved into and discussed. But
mm,
when I first got into Formula One again, I didn't tell anybody. It was kind of just like my own thing. And I would consume a lot of like F1 content online, and I never commented. I was just very like, this is just something for myself.
yeah.
It wasn't until I think senior year of college when I started sharing it with my friends and like telling my girlfriends about cars and about these drivers and started yapping a little bit more about it. And then after college, when I started making like adult money, is when I first like went to my first ever race, and that was the Las Vegas race last year. And it was in preparation for that race when I was just like, why do I have nothing to wear? Because I was facing the dilemma that I think a lot of people are facing right now for in prep for Las Vegas, which is like I want to go clubbing, I want to go out, I want to be like fully immersed in Vegas culture, but I also am here as a fan and I want to be able to support my teams, but I don't want to wear a jersey and I don't want to wear a hat, and that wouldn't be appropriate for the clubs anyway. So I kind of like Frankensteined a jacket together. Like I bought this like knockoff racing jacket, cropped racing jacket online with like these like patches, and I ripped off all the patches, and then I just kind of like made it more F1 like style or like realistic. And then once I got to Vegas, I couldn't go like 5 or 10 minutes without someone stopping me, asking me where the jacket was from. And that's kind of where it all started, which is when I was like,
Wow.
wait, this is like a real issue, and a lot of people are experiencing the same issue with me. And I like, it shouldn't be that hard to fix.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's really cool. So, what is your ultimate like dream and goal for the Grandstand project?
um, I want to design a collection for every race. I know that's like
Ooh,
crazy, but yeah, because I feel like every single race has a completely different aesthetic. Like
I
what you're
agree.
wearing to Vegas, you would never wear to Monaco, and like
No.
same with Austin, and same with Miami, and same with Silverstone. So I like the dream for me is for Grandstand to be like my life permanently and to be something that I can focus on forever, and to come up with a collection, a specific special collection for every single race, like location and style and aesthetic. And then for all of that to like funnel into directly supporting like all of the different types of women that are involved in motorsport and in the car and automotive community.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really, really sick.
Mhm.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Speaking of like women
Thank you.
in motorsport, and like the automotive community, if you could have any collaboration you wanted, like what would it be? Would it be a team, a specific circuit, maybe even like the F1 Academy drivers? Like who would that be, or who or what would that be?
Oh yeah, I think the dream, the pipe dream, would be F1 Academy. I would do anything to do anything with Susie Wolf. Just her looking in my direction would honestly achieve the dream for me. But yeah, F1 Academy would be amazing. But honestly, like right now, that's more achievable is I really want to break into Indy and NASCAR, and
Mm,
also continue breaking into like the general car enthusiast community as well, because that's also kind of where my roots are and where I've started. To be able to dress the girls that are going to car meets would also just bring me a lot of joy.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So the motorsport fan base, and specifically the female fan base, has been growing a lot recently. How special is it to you that you get to find community within racing, and how has that community impacted how you approach your brand?
Yeah, it honestly, the safety of the F1 community right now is a huge reason why I even felt comfortable starting Grandstand.
Mm.
Um, because I guess it really ties into the past here, which is like the car loving world is just not friendly towards women at all. And I think that's where and every single girl knows a guy who's really into cars who is mean and not very kind.
Mm-hmm.
So for most of my life, it was always like something to actively avoid because I didn't want to interact with certain people. It's just truly like luck that over the past few years that there's become such like an active and warm and welcoming community online where it actually feels safe to enter into.
Yeah.
So it's just like amazing to be able to like so quickly make friends that are also into cars and into racing, and for the feedback also to be so warm and welcoming, because
Mm.
Grandstand launched like what, 3 weeks ago, two,
Mhm.
maybe four, maybe a month ago, and it was immediately like working. Immediately,
Yeah.
everyone was being so kind and so supportive. And I'm like, this is just like incredible. And I haven't had, and the algorithms are algorithming. I haven't had a
Mm.
single man in my comments yet say anything disrespectful or mean. And it's just like, it's amazing. And it's been so easy to make friends. It's so nice, especially because like in my personal world, I also don't have many friends that are actually into racing or cars. So it's just been very
Mhm.
exciting to meet more girls with common interests.
Yeah. That's like so awesome to hear because I totally get it. Like we've both been in the motorsport community for a little bit and like I grew up around cars. I go to car meets and stuff. And I totally agree with you. I feel like that is something that we need and I'm so glad to like see it happening and seeing like how successful it's being so far. But what are some of the challenges that you faced breaking into the motorsport apparel market and how have you navigated those obstacles so far?
Yeah. I definitely, I feel like I categorize it into two different like issues. Like there's
Mm.
the issue of like misogyny, and then there's the general issues that come with starting any business. In
Mm.
terms of motorsport specifically, yes, I've been getting so much warmth, but I'm always running into some man of power with some other business going on.
Mm.
Or I run into men at car meets that are asking me questions about the brand, and it's always not quite hitting, and
Mm.
something is always off about it. The way that I've combated it is that we don't need them. I know that sounds so bad, but like in on so many cases now where I've like at school, for example, I would have a male classmate approach and start asking questions, and without them knowing it, they would say something like that doesn't really align. Like I had one classmate where I was talking about like how a lot of guys genuinely believe that women can't drive, and that simply
Mm.
is just not true.
Yeah.
And then he was asking me, can I drive? And then I said, well, like, yes, but also no, because I like on the streets, yes, I'm a fantastic driver in my opinion. I don't have any tickets. I've never gotten into trouble. But if you put me in a race car, I'm not going to last 5 seconds because that's a sport. That's something that takes
Yeah.
training and athletic ability that I lack.
Yeah.
And he immediately spun that. I was like, oh, you don't want to say that around the guys. They're going to make fun of you. And I'm like, it's just like little things like that where I'm like,
Mm.
I don't think you notice what you're saying and what you're implying
Mm.
and what you're getting at. And I believe the intentions could be good, but it's a
Mm.
lot of instances like that where you're just hitting a wall. But you don't really
Yeah.
need that guy in your corner anyway. At the end of the day, this is a brand for women, and as long as all the women feel good and safe in the space, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
In terms of like the business thing, my biggest burden has been finances. Like starting
Mm.
anything in apparel is crazy expensive. Um, and it's been like it's been insane trying to get the funding, and then also like depleting
Mm.
my own financial resources to try to get the clothes out there. Just
Mm.
produce it, and all of my clothes are made here in the United States, which only adds to the price tag, unfortunately.
Mm.
And then on top of that, getting inventory is another issue as a new brand, because realistically I have no data. I don't know what's selling and what will do well and what
Mm,
won't, but I still have to take the risk and I have to purchase the inventory and
yeah.
pay that dollar amount up front without knowing whether I'm ever going to get it back or not. So it's been
Mm.
managing all of that, but overall I'm like, I've already passed the point of no return, so I'm kind of just like vibing, and we're just gonna keep risking it and pushing and trying to make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. We've had a handful of comments from guys
Yeah.
that could have gone without saying for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. Sometimes they just don't get it.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
Um, so you mentioned you kind of first designed like a little jacket last year for the Vegas Grand Prix. But when did you first kind of get into clothing design just in general? Like, have you always kind of been making your own clothes or altering your own clothes? And then along with that, what's your favorite piece that you've designed so far?
Oh yeah. Well, the design, like the fashion industry journey has been super crazy as well. So I've been always been into fashion. I've always altered and reworked things at home as a hobby, but not to any degree where I would say like I'm good at it and I could like do this professionally or even sell what I am making. It's always just like good enough for me to wear. After I came up with the idea for Grandstand, my biggest problem last year was how am I going to break into this industry, like the fashion industry, and how am I going to design these pieces lacking like manufacturing knowledge. So I actually went back to community college. I when was the race? Race was November of last year. All of November and December was when I started like planning and trying to come up with a business plan and idea that actually could function. That's when I came up with the name, the Grandstand Project. January is when I decided I think I need to go back to school just to not only network but also just to learn a little bit more about fashion so that when I do speak with manufacturing companies, I can hold my ground. So I went
mm.
to Pasadena City College for literally only one semester as a fashion design major. I took 4 different classes just on like general sewing knowledge and like the industry, like with industrial sewing machines and what it's actually like in like a factory.
Mm.
Also learning pattern making and how to like design on Illustrator. It was also in that class so I was already spewing my nonsense about Grandstand at this point. Like I was already saying like this is what I'm here to do and what I want to try to make happen. And then I made a friend who was really into the idea, and she doesn't really know much about racing, but she's so creative and so fashionable, and she was like, I kind of want to like join you and help you on this. So she
Wow.
and I designed pretty much the entire collection. A
Wow.
lot of these illustrations are hers. Like she would listen to me spew my ideas and kind of what I was imagining. She would help me get it on paper. A few of the drawings are also my own from class and from my iPad. This drawing right here is actually from another close friend of mine who also is not in the racing world at all, but she was just like, I just want to design something. Like if you like it, like this is just something cool that I would want to do. And I'm like, sure. So this piece is hers. So it really was just a group effort, and we just kind of like made it happen. And then at that point, through PCC, I also I was invited into like a fabric show here in LA,
Mm.
where I met the man who runs the production company that is now producing all of these pieces to be sold. So it
Wow.
really was just like it's very the professionally this world is all very very new to me, and I'm just still figuring it out.
That's awesome. I love hearing more about like how everything started. Like that's really cool. And like as a designer myself, like illustration, I get it and it's so fun and I'm like so glad to see that you can like intertwine different people into this. Like it's super cool to see. Um, what do
Yeah.
you think makes your brand unique in the motorsport industry?
Yeah, I think what really sets Grandstand apart would be us having um like actual like custom designed clothing. A lot of what I see now is mostly prints onto t-shirts or onto, like, we call them blanks. But not many people are doing actual like custom wear, like designing skirts or designing tops or bodysuits and such. And I think that's really what one puts such a big price tag on our clothing, because we have to go through it's designed from paper to like finished product completely from scratch, from the ground up. And also what we're doing also is very like, it's more F1 inspired than like F1 pulled. We don't have any sort of trademark infringement, or we don't have any logos or branding other than GP branding. But the designs themselves are very much pulled from like the current liveries from the cars, and also the race suits themselves, and obviously the team colors and like the color blocking that they use. So like for all of our like Ferrari-esque pieces, we have the red, and then we use the gold and silver striping along the sides, kind of like the way the race suit does. For McLaren, we play a lot with asymmetry, because the McLaren race suit always has that like that diagonal line separating from the orange and black. Yeah, and then we play with like the stripes from the Red Bull. So it's very just like little tidbits pulled here and there, and also with that like racing element to it. Like one of the Ferrari pieces, really shouldn't even call it that, but Ferrari-esque pieces is like a race suit. We designed it so like you can unzip it all the way down and have it hang from your waist, just like they actually do in the paddock. Yeah, so it's very like, the inspiration was pulled here and there. Or like the other piece is also like Elvis inspired, and that was specifically like a Vegas little like thing. And then I also, for McLaren, we tried to separate like the teams by their vibes as well. So like for the Mercedes teal, we tried to make it like elegant but also a little sexy. And then for McLaren, we tried to make it more like Gen Z and fun and like kids. So we really tried to like just pull here and there. So like, if you know, you know.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah. Yeah, everything is so cool that you've made.
Thank you. It really means a lot, because it truly has just been like it's been a year of like just figuring it out and dreaming, because it really just started like as a pipe dream of me driving back from Vegas thinking about it. And the only reason all of this is here is because I've just had friends truly just offer themselves to help for basically for free. So it's the fact that it's come to life and that I have real physical pieces to hold is crazy to me. I genuinely have no idea how I got here. This past year has been a blur.
That's so amazing. I love that. So I want to know, if you could have any F1 wag, like one of the girlfriends or wives, wear one of your pieces, who would it be? Or like, what would you put them in?
That is a really hard question, but I think I would want Lily. I would want to do something for Alex and Lily.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh, yes, that'd be so good.
Yeah, and that definitely is just a personal bias. Just, again, it goes back to my William roots.
Williams.
But I just... But that would make me super giddy. But honestly, if any of the wags wore anything, I would already faint. So...
Very
That's
true.
awesome. You were already speaking of some like Vegas-inspired designs that you have in this collection. So what are some exciting things coming up at the Las Vegas Grand Prix? Can you give us some like insider info?
Yes, I can. Okay, so this actually isn't out into the world yet, but we do have a pop-up happening on race day. Let me find the actual details, but I'm really, really excited about it. It's going to be a car meet, so it's not really... I'm like excited for it because I'm like, if any F1 girlies show up who have never been to a car meet before, they're gonna lose their minds because it's such a different vibe and different aesthetic.
It is.
But it also is very like cool. It's very like, oh my god, I didn't know people did this. But it's in collaboration with Car Girls of Las Vegas and like a bunch of other automotive groups, and technically it's actually a charity toy drive.
Wow.
for the holidays. So we're gonna have a little pop-up. Wait, hold on, let me find the actual info. It'll also be posted, I think, like tomorrow. But yeah, it's the official name of the event is Toys and Turbos, coined
Oh, that's
by
so
like
cute.
the people that are running it. Yeah. November 23rd, 3 to 7. Address can be found on the Instagram. But yeah, it's really exciting. They're doing like a car like competition as well. A lot of
Mm.
car girls are gonna be there. We'll be there with what's left of our inventory, and also we'll be donating elf makeup kits, which I think is really sweet. Because
Okay.
I was on Reddit. I was like, what's a good toy to bring to like a toy drive that isn't like a stuffed animal? Because I feel like everyone's going to bring stuffed animals. And one of like the comments was like, you should bring like makeup kits are a hit with the girls of all ages. And I'm like, Elf.
Yep.
Our indie sponsor herself, Elf.
Yeah, that's such a good idea.
That is perfect.
Reminds me of like going into my mom's makeup like when I was little, just like stealing everything, figure
Yeah.
it out.
I like still have. I remember my first like makeup like brush kit was a $10 kit that someone gifted me for Christmas. That was Elf, and I'm actually still using those brushes. So I'm like, this is a really cute idea. I'd love to pass that tradition on. They're high quality.
Oh,
Elf knows what they're doing.
yeah. Sponsor? That's awesome.
Okay, yeah, we have a couple kind of just like more
Fun.
fun-esque like general questions that are less about the brand and more just about kind of getting to know you. So
Yeah.
I guess we'll kind of ask those. I'll do the first one. What's your dream car?
Oh, my dream car. Wait, hold on. I literally just
Pulling up photo.
I went to the Stingray Corvette, specifically in white, with the engine in the
Ooh.
back.
Oh.
I don't have a photo of it anymore. I was at the Origins car meet in Vegas last week, and they had like a bunch of Corvettes there, and my boyfriend is also a huge car guy, and he couldn't come with me, so I FaceTimed him and like gave him a virtual car meet. And then
Oh.
he made a comment. I didn't know that I had a thing for the Stingray until he was like, "Why do you keep showing me the Corvettes?" Like my phone just kept automatically going to them, and I'm like, because they're sexy. So yeah. Hold on. I also have a
I
photo
get it.
on. Let me pull one up on Google. But like they just look so
They are
sick.
sexy. Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I could totally drive that. There's also
And
I'm going
honestly, that
through
suits
like
your
a
vibe
wing
so
phase
much.
too. Does it?
Yeah,
Yes, it does. I was gonna say it
Wait, I love
matches
that.
Grandstand so well.
Wait, I
it
love
really does.
that.
Yeah.
I'm also like going through a bit of a wing phase though. So like one of the models from
Mm-hmm.
our promo video, she drives an R8 and she has this like giant wing on the back of her car, like big
Oh,
enough to where she sits on it. Like she sits on it and takes
yeah.
photos on it,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I didn't know I needed that in my life, but I want that.
Yes, yes. Man, I just get so geeky about all of the cars. Like they just, oh my gosh, they're so nice. And the car meets, like they're always like top
Yeah.
tier, all the mods and everything. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah.
But kind of like
It's so sick.
continuing.
Especially when you go to a good one. They're like,
hmm We have like McLarens in Nashville that will pull up, and I'm like fawning over it because I'm such a McLaren girl and all of it. And they're so
yeah.
nice.
Oh my God. They're so pretty too. We had a McLaren pull up to our launch event, and I literally
Mm.
was like, everyone, drop what you're doing. We need to go take a photo of that car. That's crazy that he's pulling up. And it was like, there was like dirt all over it too. And I'm like, what happened? Like, why are you pulling up to a car meet with a dirty McLaren? And he was like, I just hit the track. And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh no.
Oh,
Take me back. We'll go another round. Like
I was like, so why are you here?
that's hilarious. I love that. This is a fun question, I think, and we tend to ask a lot of our interviewers like this question. But if you were a race car driver, what would your number be?
Oh, that's really hard. I actually never thought of that. I don't know. 18, maybe? Just because that's
Ooh.
been my lucky number. But I feel like I can come up with a better number than that. Or actually, no, number one.
That's
I love
right.
that.
That's good.
It's awesome.
All right. If you had to describe the relationship between you and your best friend by using a duo on the grid, who would it be? So, for example, Brinley and I are Lando and Oscar.
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. Huh. What duo would we be? I feel like we would be Charles and Max. Actually,
Mm.
I think we would be Max
What's
explaining
that
and
mean?
clarifying. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I fear that we are both yappers and explainers.
I love that.
So fun.
Unfortunately.
No, that's awesome. We love Max and Charles. Like that's
They're
hilarious.
so good. Yeah.
Which one are you though?
I feel like I'm Max explaining.
Okay.
I feel like, yeah, unfortunately, I think I'm Max explaining.
Well, it goes with the number one. It goes with the number one as your race number.
It's all full
And we
circle.
all go back. Yeah, it always goes back.
That's awesome. Okay, this is probably like the last question we'll ask you before we head off for today, but what is your dream F1 race to attend?
Singapore. No,
Mm.
no. Oh, actually, let me clarify. Anyway. I in terms of like attainable, Singapore. Like that's
Mm.
my dream right now. But I think like dream like unattainable, Monaco.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I don't know if I'm ever actually gonna make it to Monaco, but I do think one day I will make it to Singapore, and both of them are
Yeah.
definitely up there. But I also like really, really want to go to Canada. Like that's
Mm.
also been a race that's just been on my mind a lot. I don't know, that's really, really hard. But yeah, I guess Monaco. Monaco would be like the absolute like crazy, crazy pipe dream. I was like, whoa.
Hmm.
If I go to Monaco, then I know I've made it.
Yeah.
Real?
Monaco is just such like an iconic spot. It's like you can't not want to go there and like be drawn to it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like I don't even know how to describe it. It's just so like magical and unreal to me.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Plus, it's like so deeply rooted in motorsports and like the car community for like ages and
Hmm.
ages ago that I feel like it pulls every single person that's interested in those things like to it.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah. The energy in Monaco is just unmatched. At least I think from a screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a whole like country ordeal. It can't
Yeah.
Yeah.
doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But definitely like Singapore also one of these days I want. Definitely not next year, but maybe the year after. I've always wanted
Mm.
to go to a Chinese race. That would just be crazy.
Singapore is stunning. Like it looks so gorgeous. Like that's one of the races I want to go to as well. I mean, I would love to go to all of them, but like that's one of the top five.
Yeah. It's beautiful and a pain to get to, I'm sure, because it's so far
Mm.
away, but worth it.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to talk about before we end today? Like about your project?
No, I don't think so. Other than like, it's just been super fun right now. Like, it's been crazy. We're really committed to the cause. All of the girls in the promo video on the website are real car girls from the community. Some of them are F1 girlies. One of them's a mechanic. She also drag races. Like it's just we're very focused on the female aspect of just creating an inclusive brand, and it's just been really fun and really exciting. And also at the end of the day, it's my big excuse to make more car girlfriends. So,
Yeah.
like, just honestly happy to be here, happy that people love it as much as I do, and just really excited to see where it's going to go. I have so many plans for it. So yeah, I can't wait to try to achieve all of those plans and make it happen.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on and talking with us. It was so much fun. We loved getting to just learn more about the Grandstand Project and about you. And so everyone listening, go follow the Grandstand Project. And we can't wait to see what you do next and like where you take this, because we both think that you're gonna do great things and you're gonna like
Yeah.
have a lot of success.
Yes.
Thank
100%.
you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I'm just happy to be here. Thank you for chatting with me. This is like
Yes,
so
of course.
crazy.
Well, bye.